Just doing a bit of micro scrapping. What's micro scrapping, you ask? Well, in this big box we've got all the electronic micro scrapping that I do. Box of goodies. Quite a bit to do. That needs sorting out. Big bag of electronics there. Check all my gold out. Check all my gold out. Loads of gold. That's my gold pot, that one. Anyway, that fits nicely on there. Got the gold pot. Got a little bag of copper wire. We've got a bag of these things, look. Which we've got to sort out. Got big chips here. Little bit more gold cut off of there. But we've got a big bag of components to rip down. Just rip down and rip down. Is this Ali? Or is it fucking tin? Anyway, all I'm taking off of this is that little bit there. That's 2-0 up. Yeah, I see my mate told me that. Basically, that there's what's called extruded aluminium. What you do with that is get your big pliers, grip on, literally just rip it off the board. That's all we're looking to do. Nothing else that I want on that. There's a few gold pins in here though. Thing is, can we get them out? Possibly. Get a lot of gold connector pins. I'll show you in a minute. Here we go. I basically recycle electronics. What you got here is just got gold pins, man. Check these out. I'll show you in my hand when I get them out. Can you see them? Yeah. Is it fiddly? Yeah. Is it worthwhile? Yeah. Money for nothing, if you know what you're doing. Yeah, gold pins there, that. Contact pins, and they basically go in the gold pot, which is my favourite part. chuck all that in there for the meantime. And as you can see, look, gold fingers. It's all gold, man. Processors. But with the processors, what you really want is the really old processors, like the Intels, because you get big pins like that on. Do you see them gold pins? But yeah, what? I've got loads of gold here. It's all gold. Oh. Obviously, you got your SIM cards as well. Yeah. Anyway, that's my gold. At the minute, that's about done. So that's basically, that goes in done. See, even the bits the bits after I've finished pulling my bits and bobs off, right? Even that old board I sell as well. That I sell. All I'm doing is I'm taking the good bits off before he gets all the good bits. Yeah, I can still sell that. I can sell anything with a plug on it. But obviously, most scrap people, most of them scrap lads around here, are not doing what I'm doing. But that's where the future, that's where the money is. What it is where we've been so greedy for technology over the years, we've just raped the planet of all its resources. So what's happening now is everything's going to be recycled, all your bits and bobs. And obviously, there are a few tips for you. It's obvious to me, but maybe not you. That's all good. They don't really bother me, mate, to be honest with you. And yeah, this is very resourceful. And basically, this is the way it's going to go. This is big. But I've just got on it early because my dad was an engineer. I know what kind of components I'm looking at, thanks to my dad. And they're all being recycled now. And what you really want, right, is the older the computer, the older the technology. It's not just computers, it's TVs, it's everything. The older the technology, the more precious metals you're going to get in it. But yeah. There are certain things to collect. This is worth the most. These even outdo the gold. These little blue things. Give you a little example. Then, worth more than gold, man. Seriously. You get all these different capacitors. You get these as well. Little boxes contain gold and silver. What's that? Are you friends with that 2-year-old child? Because you got the fucking intelligence of one. Let's get rid of that fucking numpty straight away. Can't be doing the numpties today. Yeah, you get ceramic capacitors, but you got to watch the capacitors though, because they hold a charge, even if something's really old. You can still get a zap from it. And do you trolls really think that you're untraceable just because you're making up a fake name? Do you really think you can't be found? Yeah, you've got your IC chips as well, which are your chips, your microchips. Just rip them off the board. Anyway, just showing you a bit of that. Your copper. Another thing we got to rip off. We're going to be ripping the aluminium off again. Not got no gold pins on this one. All we're going to be robbing is that there. That bit there. Extruded aluminium. Worth a little bit more than your normal aluminium. That, yeah, exactly. Out to the drag there. You must kind of know what you're on about then. In fact, them old CRT screens have got that much copper in. They've got big coils of copper in, but yeah, anything like that can hold a bit of zap. 1+13 Galaxy. Me, I'm using a Huawei P30 Pro. Which is pretty good for me YouTubing. It's got quite good sound, which obviously I'm a music channel, even though I'm sitting here with all my electronics and all the lectures we was given last night, which was quite interesting. Last night was. What we got here, insides of a bank card reader. Obviously you've got your gold contacts on the back as well. Cheers, I've got two of them. To be honest with you, this is the last Huawei that's still got the all the Play Store and all that in it, with like Android, before they fell out. But yeah, I've got to say, this P30 Pro has just got brilliant sound, very good processor. And to be honest, even though it's a few years old now, it was pretty high spec'd up at the time, and it's still pretty. At the end of the day, as long as I've got a quick processor for like me YouTubes and that, do you know what I mean? My channel, it's all good. Yeah, it's nice to have a bit of something, especially when I'm doing uploading videos and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, got a few good reports back of the music sounding, and all I do is just I'm not rigging my mixer into the phone or anything. It's just coming as it is, so to speak. Anyway, starting to look a lot like Christmas. It's getting nice and warm in here now. Got the radiators on. Another 25 quid on the gas. I'll tell you what I do like, them phones, they never really took off. The ones where you build your own phone, it's sort of all slotted together and you could upgrade the bits and bobs. I forget what they were calling them, but I really like that concept. So instead of having a new phone, or it didn't take off because of the phone companies, but instead of having a new phone, you just swap bits out. You swap your processor out and upgrade and... Oh yeah, definitely. The kids must be... Hello Jimmy, how you doing? The kids must be under loads of pressure. But yeah. Vote reform. Why? Yeah, but why? Why do you think reform's going to be any different? I think they're all bullshitters, no matter who gets in. It's all good, Jimmy. It's all good. In fact, I've been looking at the P30, the P40 Pro, and the P50 that's out now, which just looks the dog's bollocks. But you got no app store or nothing. Do you know what I mean? That's when Huawei fell out with Google. The P30 Pros. In fact, the P30 Pros are getting a new update as well. Yeah, mine was the last one to have it put in. Saying that, I've got all the apps I need. Do you know what I mean? YouTube. I suppose it's a bit easier for me where I do live videos all the time. I'm more of a live channel. In fact, I could think of nothing more boring than uploading a video once every Thursday. Bit boring that is for me. But people seem to like live videos. And we do cover, even though I'm a music channel, we do cover a lot of different subjects and topics. Last night we went from, what was it? Slapping your kids to, well, I don't know what, evolution, like everything. What did we discover last night? Not a lot. We discovered there's a lot of morons out there. But it's all good. You've got lovely gold pins in that one, look. There are some people that sit there with a soldering gun, religiously removing every part, but trust me, get your pliers and just rip it off the board. You're going to get the same money. And obviously, if you've got any boards that are green, once you take this off, into the bin, the electronic scrap will have that. The green board is worth more money because that's made in America. The blue board is worth less. It's made in China. Little fact for you. So if your board's blue, it's come from China. If it's green, it's come from America. Hang on, I think there's loads of messages there. 5G, I wish I had 5G. I'm on the free network, which is pretty good. Basically, the free network, I've been on them all, the pay-as-you-go ones. The free network is the only network which is truly unlimited. All the others have got like an amount you go over and they slow you right down. But I've been with the free network for about 25 years now. Nothing slows down. I'm with you. Yeah, I think I've seen them OnePlus ones. There's some. I'll tell you what. There's some good-looking phones out there on the market, even on Amazon and that. I've never really been into iPhones. Never owned one. But then I studied sort of ICT, and I know what's in an iPhone is just in any other phone. Yeah, I think iPhones, don't know whether I'd get along with an iPhone. I think they're too small for me. Don't know what they're like on YouTube. And some of the money you can pay for them iPhones, like £1,000 and that. if you got £1,000 to burn, good luck to you, but I ain't. Do you know what I mean? £1,000 on a phone, probably about 250, 300 quid is my tops. I'd rather spend £1,000 on records. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. That's the Apple game, isn't it? Same components, just dressed up a little different. Yeah, I've just never really been into. They make nice stuff, and that's some of them early. What were they called? The old Apple Macintosh computers, pretty stylistic, but nobody rules the roost to look at Microsoft and Windows and whatnot. I've got to sort my glasses out, just squinting everywhere. Oh right, you're disabled. I'm registered disabled, but I've got ADHD and ASD, so none of it's physical. Yeah, you owe internet, and that can be a lifesaver for people that got disabilities. Also, people that have got depression and things like that. I remember when I first got diagnosed with the ADHD at age 50. I found it quite heartening that there's lots of groups there was out there on Facebook. The social media revolution, eh? Crazy. Anyway, I'm creeping up to 1,000 subscribers. Keep losing one, getting two, but we're getting there. Like I said, anybody wants to become their 1,000th subscriber, there is a prize on offer. And to all my normal subscribers that have been here years, you are allowed to dive out and dive back in to see if you can be the 1,000th subscriber. But there is a prize. But we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, sitting here all on me lonesome, thinking we need 10 subscribers, and then we need 50, and we're nearly there. Oh yeah, definitely, it's a good time killer, isn't it? The internet and the phones. CFS, is that the breathing related thing? Yeah, what do I? Oh well, I take amphetamine for me ADHD and THC vape. Boom! I'm even off the cannabis, off the green now. I'm off the green. I'm off the tobacco, and I'm just vaping THC. Supposed to have some of the white stuff moving in, some of the snow. Get your snow boots ready. In fact, I think we're going to hit 1,000 tonight. I can feel it in the air. Magic mushrooms, yeah, we've done a lot of acid, I have, growing up. When I was growing up, we started going out acid parties, the rave scene, the early rave warehouse parties, LSD trips, purpleums, great stuff. Chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm with you. My next door neighbour, this girl, has got that. Kelly. Yeah, I think you're allowed in England. I don't know where you are, but you're allowed THC for that as well. You can get cannabis on prescription for that. There's only a few things you can sort of get the cannabis on prescription. Saying that, I'm still getting it from the street, because the government's prescription thing is a bit of a scam. Yeah. ADHD, we just got to clash around the head. No. AI, what do I think of AI? How do I use AI? I don't really use AI, to be honest with you. I noticed that a lot of YouTubers, though, they can't even be bothered to talk on their videos anymore. Some ridiculous AI bot chatting away. Bit of AI is alright, I suppose, if you're researching something. But I do think, though, it probably will take over and probably will lose a lot of jobs. And to be honest with you, they got to keep an eye on it. At the minute, the only reason it can't get a mind of its own and sort of take over is because it can't download stuff quick enough. But one day it probably will be able to. But they reckon it's gonna be the biggest thing since the technology boom. So it's going to be pretty dramatic, I think. Yeah, the 80s, the 90s, good times for partying. Yeah. I think AI could probably do away with a lot of jobs. Do you know what I mean? Legal jobs like solicitors and things, or attorneys if you're an American. Once the AI's learnt it all, who's going to hire a human lawyer? You just get the AI on it, wouldn't you? I think that's where it'll all be one day. Just be a load of fucking bollocks talking to a load of bollocks talking a load of bollocks to another thing. It's good if you use it for the correct things, but you know that in the future there's going to be some maniac that's going to incorporate it into a weapon. I'll just show you me. I've got a bottle down here. I'll show you how I get it. The THC, honestly, you start on the THC vape. I just don't even feel like I need any nicotine anymore. Got quite a good deal off me, mate. There's no nicotine in that. Tastes and smells of nothing. Got the old tent. There's a tent out up there, look. The bike I'm still working on. The winter willow tree, look. It's getting a bit breezy out there. Crazy, eh? Technology. Who'd ever thought we'd be sitting here now on these mobiles? In fact, I'm going to do a little video. I'll just show you a few old mobiles while you're sitting there. Obviously, quite a few people are into the tech and that technology. We're having ADHD. I don't really throw my old phones out. I'll show you some real old phones. Because I found a bag with another couple in. Should really scrap them out. But I think that people buy these old phones now. Bit of a like retro thing going on. Right, let me turn that boiler off. Check this phone out. First up, we have a Motorola. Check this one. Who remembers that? When phones were like that. I can remember when SMSs first came out. Right, we got that one. We've also got a lovely example. Check this Nokia out. Check this Nokia out. And these are all up for sale, by the way. I've seen people selling these vintage ones. Little Nokia. I should have a Nokia Lumia somewhere. And we got my Sony Walkman phones, obviously being right into my music like I am. Got a little Sony Walkman phone. Who remembers these ones? What else have we got laying here? We've got, oh, one of my favourite Sony Walkman phones. Who remembers that one? And we've got a Huawei P. In fact, I should get this fixed because it still fires up. I've just got to get a screen on it. This is a Huawei P9, is it? Is it a P9? But these are like tanks, man. These Huawei's. We'll have to try and fire that Motorola up one night. I've also got the first ever kind of WAP phone. Who remembers the WAP, the first internet, sort of on the mobile? Wireless Application Protocol. Yeah. The old WAP. You'd press on it and you'd have to wait 5 minutes for it to load up. And it cost you about £58 million. A PS1. No, I'm not really a gamer. To be honest with you. I do sometimes download a emulator. Yeah, WAP was mad, man. Loads of money. Yeah, WAP. Now look at us all surfing away. Yeah, the old WAP. You press the button, he's sitting there waiting. But at the time, it was amazing, though, wasn't it? It's like the internet. I can remember when all that was. Really, it was just a bit like WAP. Really, to start with, it was just loads of text, loads of just pages of shit. Now look at it all. I don't think we'll get a lot more advanced though with the mobile phones. All that can happen next is you having chips implanted in your head. That's about it. Right, I've got another couple of phones laying around somewhere, if I can find them. Oh, here we go. This is the worst phone. This is what I tried when my Huawei broke. I thought I'd try Google Pixel. And I'll tell you what, I'm never using one of them again. The Google Pixel, not very good YouTubing. Even though that was a lot newer than the Huawei. The Huawei was just light years faster. Isn't vaping toxic? Worse than smoking cigarettes? No, it depends what you're vaping. It depends what you're vaping. Obviously, I'm just vaping THC, a plant extract. I think the people that are doing themselves real harm are probably the people who are just buying the vapes out the shop with the nicotine in it. Yeah, but again, I don't. Where I cycle and keep fit, I don't cough and that anyway. A lot of my pals are all wheezing and huffing and puffing, and all I've done is cycled all my life. How much is the THC? If you're just buying a single bottle, I can pick that up 30, 40. If you're yeah, exactly. Drag, yeah. But I just got a batch of 13 bottles. My mate said, "Do you want a Christmas deal, Phil?" 13 bottles. I'll tell you what, it lasts forever. All I do is just swap out the nicotine liquid and just push mine in. Yeah, since I've been on this, I've not felt the urge to buy any more tobacco. Or I must admit, I've got a little bit of green because I quite like a spliff in the evening, but stop that because I already tried for a few days experimenting. But then again, I've got ADHD, you know what I mean, and ASD, so it might affect me a bit different. I think my pal around the road who had a go, he ain't got he hasn't got ADHD. It sort of made him all ready for bed, but me, it makes me, like I said, it makes me quite proactive. With an ADHD brain, it livens my brain up. It basically enables my brain not to get overloaded. So I can process more things. The joys of ADHD. Or you just might have ADD, which is attention deficit disorder without the hyperactivity. But I've got all the letters. With zero learning problems. I'm lucky in that respect. Certainly an eye-opener. It was an eye-opener to the prejudice that's still out there and the judgmental fucking people that's still out there. But like the same as when I was a carer for so long, I feel it's my duty, having ASD and ADHD with no learning problems, high functioning is what I'm called. I deem it my mission to educate these people that pop up in front of me that don't know jack shit. But it's interesting because I never knew jack shit about it. Yeah, drinking alcohol. I used to be, I got a bottle of Baileys down there, but I don't really drink. I used to be a drinker, but to be honest with you, now I understand why I've never really been into it because of my ADHD. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens with, yeah, exactly. You know about ADHD yourself. Yeah, it has a reverse effect, doesn't it? Same as energy drinks. I used to drink like a lot of energy drinks on here, and people just go, "God, you're whacking them back. You'll be up all night." It sends me to sleep. In fact, my amphetamine I take, I can take one of the tablets and I'll just be back in the land of the nod. But to be honest with you, before I was diagnosed, all my life I've really struggled sleeping because of the ADHD. But now, it's mad. I've been in court for having amphetamines when I was younger. I've been in court for having cannabis. Turns out all these years later, I'm getting prescribed amphetamines and I can smoke cannabis. But I don't choose to have a government, I don't have a prescription. I get it from out there. Because that prescription's a bit of a con. And obviously now I'm just going to do these. Yeah. I can see how cannabis, like you see these babies, don't you, that have been on my local news, where they keep having fits and whatnot, and they give them a little bit of cannabis oil, and boom, they're not fitting, they're laughing. Do you know what I mean? They're interacting. It's amazing, really. Yeah, it stops them from seizuring. Free the weed, I say. But I say free the weed for a lot of reasons. I think weed you could take for an headache, you could take for a lot of things, man. Period pain or anything you could take weed for. You've got ADD, attention deficit disorder. Yeah, I'm with you. You're just not really paying attention then, without the hyperactivity. You're lucky in that respect. I'll swap you my ADHD for your ADD. You'll be up running around going crazy. But I'm obviously used to. But then again, saying that, the beneficial effects that I realise now, being 54, is it's kept me quite fit running about. Yeah, after my granddad. After my granddad. What's my opinion on the boats coming over? Well, to be honest, they're illegal immigrants. They shouldn't really be in the country. If you're going to come into the country, come in the correct way, not illegally. I think it's criminal that the government is squandering everybody's money on all of that, all them hotels. Yet they'll look at me and you like we're the ones that put the NHS out of business, like we're the ones that ruin the country, like we're the ones that built all the debt up in the country. When really it's them. And all you people going Farage this and that party that, you'll all be saying I'm right when it happens. They're all bullshitters. Farage, none of them are going to change what's going on. Oh yeah, the culture, Tucker says there, they're trying to eradicate your history. Yeah, very alarming. I see that one girl got sent home from school. It was Celebrate Something Day, and she wanted to go. I'm not into the British flag, right? Like I've said, I'm into my St George's Cross. I'm English, Irish, and Spanish. Anyway, this girl wanted to dress up in a Union Jack sort of dress, little schoolgirl, and she got sent home because she wanted to do that. What a load of bollocks. But at the end of the day, you can't change what's fact. That's why I've never had a YouTube warning for giving my opinion on things. But again, I'm not a hater. I'm not on the left. I'm not on the right. I think some of these channels we got out there are just too on the left or too on the right. Personally, I think they're all bullshitters. I think Farage, his party, all the parties are just bullshitters. It's as simple as that. There's never been an honest politician. Well, I've never seen one, and I'm 54. Yeah, I get some PIP for my conditions, but I tell you what, you got to jump through fucking hoops and that to get it exactly like you said there, and they cut some of mine down. But I'm challenging that. Yeah, it takes the piss, mate. It takes the piss. You know what I mean? We've paid in. They haven't. They're illegal. Let's remember that they're not legal immigrants. They're illegal immigrants. You can guarantee they're all getting a health check. Well, who's paying for that? Oh, it's just crazy. Them hotels, you know what I mean? People, then again, people are awake to it now. People are awake to it now. Yeah. Let's house all them illegal immigrants, but yeah, let's cancel the old age pensioners' heating extra payment. Boom. Because they're wankers, man. They're just toffee-nosed wankers, the Tory party are, along with Labour as well. Labour's not what Labour was years ago, or what Labour set out to be. The PS1. Yeah, I can remember that, man. Do you remember the Game Boy on the little handheld ones? Hello, mate. Ranilium. Down there in Australia, look. Melbourne. How you doing, mate? I've been watching a bit of cricket, actually, from Australia. I don't know what the time is in Oz. So I voted Labour. Shame on you if you did. No, I didn't vote for Labour. I voted for the Green Party in my area last. Oh, it's 1 a.m. I'm quite looking forward. While we're talking about Australia, get the Boxing Day test, but it's like, obviously it's Boxing Day in Oz, but it's like Christmas night over here. Quite looking forward to that. And I'm also looking forward to next week, I might even live stream it if I can, Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. That should be a right lot. Really, AJ should be fucking taking his nut off, do you know what I mean? Nah, see, you're another. See, Tucker, you've been. Oh, let's just put that out a minute. You've been fooled by Farage. I don't think he's going to do anything spectacular. They'll change their sort of what they say. Yeah, Jake Paul, eh? Then again, you can't really blame AJ getting in there, that kind of money. Victoria. My mate lives over in Oz. I've got a couple of English mates sort of over here that have gone to live out there, married Aussie girls. Yeah. I think Australia is probably just as ridiculous as England, to be honest with you. I don't think any people's government really reflects the real people. An Aussie girl? Oh. I've had a few Aussies. In fact, I've got a few Aussie subscribers on here. It comes up and I look at all the countries. Oh. I don't mind. I sort of don't mind the Aussies. I suppose I've got more in common with the Aussies than a Yank. Do you know what I mean? So, plus, I quite like all the banter and that Australians have with English people. Yeah, mate, have a good kid. Sleep. I've got to put this THC vape down. Otherwise, you end up in dreamland, man, blasting on that. But I've got to say, though, I fill the thing up. You still get some left over once you filled it up. It seems to last forever. Then again, I'm a bit of a vape virgin, not completely. But, giving up the green, eh? What did they leave a message? Whoever that was on the phone. Yeah. I don't recognise the number. Let me plug my phone in. Energy drink. One of these orange ones. I prefer wild cherry Lucasade, but I think they've discontinued it now, and all you get is cherry Lucasade. I used to... So why are they even ringing me? Clarion Housing. So I think Amy's emailed them, but I'll speak to Amy before I speak to them. Go away. I bet he leaves. That'd be Thomas leaving me a really moody email. The Clarion, my rent officer, he's a right wanker. And I'll tell him as much as well. Weird flavour. I quite like the cherry ones. But wild cherry Lucasade was just lovely, but it only seemed to be out for a while. But on my sort of Deliveroo and my apps and that, it still says wild cherry, but you order it and it's nice, just cherry. Cherry cola I like as well. Pepsi Max, cherry. I've just had fucking all these voicemails swooping in. You got 2 new voicemails, or have I? Listen to them in a minute. 52 minutes, look. I've been on here. Yeah, the energy drinks are alright, but a bit expensive, I think. Call a cow with no legs. Don't know, you tell me. Ground beef. I've got to fix my glasses, man, so I'm not squinting at everything. Well, I might adjust the thing, actually, when I get off here. You know, you can adjust your phone's light, can't you, sort of. So it affects your eyes less. Anyway, I'm going to put the amp on and whack a record on. What's today's record? Asking ourselves a little peek at the weather, which is still pretty shit. Excuse me. Excuse my English. Willow tree out there, look. Looking bare. Tent up there, still up. I've still got a wild camp. I might take you all out tonight, actually, and show you my wild camp. It's still out there, you know, from my wild camp that I had a week or so ago. Cheers, planted it 20, 30 years ago, and it was about that big. 30 years ago, now look at it. Oh, now it's a protected tree. After they get to a certain size, they become protected. But them roots are going to be everywhere. It's good to know that long after I'm gone, the roots of them trees, the roots of the trees, will probably just devour the houses. But I'll be long gone. So far, I've been here 54 years. In fact, we're on our 55th year next year. At one point, there was my mum and dad and 5 kids in here, and now there's just me. How mad's that? The joys of being the youngest. Then again, it's Clarion. All they want to do is just bribe me off, get me out, but they can't. And tomorrow I'm launching legal. Why did the police need to take the cuffs in as evidence? They were believed to have links in the area. Have you opened a new box of Christmas crackers early or something? Full of jokes. Right, get the amp on. Might have to try and wire in another speaker as well, because I've definitely tried on a wire which has come out and it sounds... Jokes are jokes, aren't they? It's all good. Yeah, I think I've trod on a speaker wire somewhere along the line. But, still got to order them styluses. Going to be servicing my Techniques tonight as well. Should have them down here tonight. Right. Oh. 34. I wish I was 34. Oh. Right, let's pick an album out, shall we? Shall we pick? What shall we pick today? Ding, ding, ding. More specials, maybe. More specials, the anniversary copy. Wherever that is. There we go, that. Bosh. What, you must be lucky or unlucky? I've got loads of brothers and sisters, but I don't talk to any of them. All I need is my record collection. It's all good. And a YouTube channel. I'm going to be hitting 1,000. I know. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you don't mind, people. God, because we're just about to hit 1,000. Oh, and whoever gets the 1,000th one, there is a special 2-tone prize to be grabbed as well. And to everybody that's already subscribed, to make it fair in my eyes, you're allowed to go out and then come back in if you think you can get in on number 1,000. Yeah. Well, I never did. Um, to be honest with you, no, I know I've got this ADHD and ASD, and it's like the father that passes it down. Quite glad then again, I suppose really, I think when my sisters had children, quite young, and I babysat all my nieces and nephews and wiped their asses and stuff, might have put me off. Who knows? Who knows? Um, all I know now is I've got a lot more money than what I would have. Um, but you've got to invest your money. Invest your money, everybody, in a copy of More Specials. Go out and buy More Specials, the 40th anniversary copy. Stick it away for a year. Bring it back out. Add a tenner on. Boom. Make yourself a tenner. Anyway. Some group called the Specials. Here we go. And again, most females most of my ex-girlfriends have had drink problems. Not that I've ever claimed to be an angel, do you know what I mean? But yeah, most of the girls that I've been out with have had like drink issues. I mean, last girlfriend Mel, she had a bit of a well, I don't know. Did she have a coke issue or I don't know. Not that I'm saying you're a cokehead, Mel, if you're watching. I'm with you. I used to look after somebody that had MS, a couple, and the lady, an ex-Londoner, she was in a wheelchair and she could only move the top half of her body. And her husband was ex-military, he could only move his head. But that was MS. Oh, it's a joke waiting for anything to do with the NHS. It's the same with my ADHD specialist. They privatised it on the quiet. It's just ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. And to be honest, the specialists really only really know what they learn from a book. Do you know what I mean? I think the only real people that know about ADHD are probably people that have got it. Oh, here we go, look. We've got to put it on 45 because it's the... makes me laugh with a DWP, with my PIP and that, when they sit there asking me questions about ADHD, because they ain't got a clue, mate. The old government's medical people, they really ain't got a clue. Crazy. Just don't throw away all your letters, people, all your specialist letters, hospital letters, all they want loads of evidence. Oh yeah. The amount I got diagnosed 4 years ago with all my things, and the amount of ignorance and fucking complete bollocks I've come across is unreal. I've got no learning issues with any of I'm what's called high functioning, so I understand it all. But the amount of fucking arrogant people I've come across is unreal. But I do always set them straight. And I think the kids today, good luck to them. They got a hell of a better chance than kids of my generation. The kids now are all on doses of amphetamine. They're going to school. Instead of in my day going to the back of the class, the kids with the ADHD now are actually outbraining the normal kids because they're all hyper focusing. But obviously, in my day, there was no ADHD. Do you know what I mean? You could have been the brightest crayon in the box, but if you was a bit cheeky, that was it. Crazy, eh? How it's all changed. All them kids probably got a good old beating because they weren't obedient. Anyway, specials o'clock. Ooh, enjoy yourself. Got to plug them other speakers in. Yeah, I don't mind cars. I like old school cars. Like a Mark 1 Escort RS Mexico or something like that. Or a Mark 2 RS 2000. Them kind of cars. Oh, right. That's what I kind of grew up with. Fiat Coupe. My mate had a Fiat Mirror Fury, right, an orange one. My mate Mick, and it went like shit off a shovel. Enjoy yourself. Later than you think. That's wild, eh?
We're giving free by the maker. Learn the rules, don't be no faker.
190.
Don't be a good fool. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the beat. The years go by as quickly as you wait.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the thing. The years go by as quickly as you wait. Enjoy yourself.
Anyway, I'm going to have to go in a minute because I'm down to about 60%. But what I'm going to do though is charge both my phones up, so I've got plenty of battery power. Good job I've got a fast charger. Anyway, I will be back in about half an hour, In fact, to be honest with you, my record collection could get me a very nice car, couldn't it? Because I've got no idea what I'm going to spend the money on. You know that. All I knew when I started it's my little pension, my little sort of nest egg. Because it would have just been pointless me trying to put money. Well, I could have put money in the bank, but I've invested in vinyl, which is paying off. It will do. I just didn't realise I was going to amass so many two-tone records, and yeah. Crazy, eh? Started with the beat, went to onto the selector, then the specials, madness. Saying that's been quite an education, because when I started, I didn't really know the market completely. But now, I feel like I know the market pretty well. Then again, I said before, I think that's something to do with my ADHD, that I look at it differently than how other people might be looking at it. You watch, probably go to sell me old records, then government would be banging at the door. Where's our car? Fuck your car. Tax it. All tax free. Da 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 da. Got my Christmas hat on. Having fun. Everyone. anyway. I can't stay on here much longer because my battery's going to go. Right, don't forget to subscribe, people, and I'll see you a bit later.